Understood.
Because the heart of what they do is in the very beginning, in the first 20 minutes. After that, it's just
free flow.
It's free flow. And that's when it gets zesty.
See, but that's what I don't want, right? I'm trying to avoid that at all costs, right. Where you feel like all of the content was in the beginning. I want the content to be like, boy, you ain't watched that all the way through? Mm-hmm. You missed out on something. Because for real, the longer you talk to somebody, the more they open up.
Unravels. Like that day I did that episode with Taurus from Black Renaissance, and that lady came and touched that tripod. Yeah.
What you mean she touched your tripod? Keep talking.
So I have a thing now with us doing podcasts downtown at the square, where I know people are going to interrupt. I'll be prepared.
Don't start that yet.
I'll be prepared that I know they're going to interrupt. So in the video, you can see shadows. Now, I'm my peripheral. Being in a band, my peripheral is on 1,000, so I can catch stuff out the corner of my eye. So even though I'm sitting here and the street is behind me, I can see this lady getting out of her car with all 5 of her grandchildren. In the back of my brain, I'm already mentally preparing for her to either walk across this thing and interrupt, or somehow make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm meant to, because it happens so many times. I'm prepared for it. You could always see it in I got a friend of mine, Kiera, she be watching my videos in detail. She's like, I saw your eyes. So you can see my eyes go. You can see the shadows come around in the video because the sun was up high. She comes around the side, and I look up, and Taurus is still talking, but she stops. And she said, excuse me, y'all microphones can't hear me, can you? I didn't think that they could, but them $17 mono mics are very good from my Amazon. They're when they say omnidirectional, it's not lying. You can hear all that. And she was like, where you got this tripod from? Oh, the camera just. I'm just like, I got this from Dirt Cheap. She was like, oh, okay, thank you. She walks off. Taurus is trying to keep his composure. I just stayed at the camera like this. And I kept that in there.
Yeah.
I literally kept it in there. I was like, every episode this happens. Like when I interviewed Pat Carter on BS Photography, and I saw the little old lady getting out of her car on the corner of Cathedral Square. And the way the camera was, the cords were on the sidewalk. We sitting on the bench. She just politely walked through.
Like y'all not doing
like
nothing.
We're not doing nothing. And I was like, well, it is the sidewalk is open. You know what I'm saying? Normal people just.
Yeah.
And guess what? When she went back to her car, she walked through again.
Boy, people blows my mind.
But what I like about that though, it makes it reality based.
Yeah.
Like this happened in real time, and you see how we reacted, and we're able to turn it into funny. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I can see that. You definitely got something different going on with the way you handle things. You ready to start? I know we was just having conversation, and it was good for mic calibration. Get that comfortable. Get it real comfortable. He got a good angle, like the mic ain't in front of his face on that camera over there.
No, it's cool with his beard.
Oh, hold on now.
He want the beard show.
Okay.
You know they talk about the beard quite often.
All right. You started.
I've been through a lot. And only one thing ever really sticks to me. No matter what I go through, it always affects me. When I hustle up or don't have a dime, I'ma go mine. Good times and the bad times, they heavy on my mind. Tapered up or I'm starched down. Either way is mine. I feel fine, but everything around affect my vivid
Welcome
mind.
to a Vivid Mind podcast, the official podcast for young and cultured luxury lifestyle brand. I am your host, Sid, a.k.a. the king of all things dope, King Dopamine, King Dope. I basically like talking to people who inspire me, who lead me to the next steps in life, who show me something different, something new. And not like new as in, oh, I ain't never seen that before. New as in, I ain't never seen it done like that before. And what a lot of people don't know is I had been thinking about doing this podcast for about a year. But you were the catalyst to make me go ahead and jump out the window, jump off the plane, jump off the planet, and God say, I got you. You know. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce y'all to a mob legend in his own right. He blew up outside the city and brought his blow up home. Mr. Malcolm, Mr. Fandoms Anonymous himself.
Yes. Good morning, Bishop. Good morning, Bishop. How you doing? praise God. Praise God. We are here.
All right, so it is a customary. What am I saying? It is customary that whenever you come on this platform that we do something ice breaking. You know, we've already broken ice multiple times already. However, I gotta break the staleness of what's happening right now. You dig what I'm saying? They don't like it when it's like this. You feel that? It feels
like the stale crackers you get from a cafeteria.
Yeah. Or you thought you was getting fresh bread, but they ain't give you the bread of Jesus. They gave you the bread of Joseph. Yeah. That was nasty bread.
That bread is sold at B&H on Halls Mills Road.
So, as always, we're going to play our little game.
Da-da-dum.
Dumb questions for smart people.
Hey. It's a lot of questions out there. Some of them are dumb. And some of y'all ain't smart.
All right. Describe yourself in one word.
Resilient.
Why resilient?
Because each and every bad thing that happens to me, I always find a way to shed that skin and get out of it. I had a therapist tell me that.
Oh, so you go to therapy?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get into that later. All right. Question number 2. You encounter 2 doors and 2 guards. One door leads to doom, the other to ice cream. One of the guards only tells the truth. The other one only lies. And you don't know who's who. You have to choose the right door, but you can only ask one question of one guard. What do you ask the guard to pick the right door?
See, I'm very visual. Very visual. So I'm going to be paying attention because if there's one door that's leading to doom and there's one door that's leading to ice cream, right? Mm-hmm. So you think of doom, you think of fiery furnace, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, burning, hell. And then you think of ice cream, you think of a cold room. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to pay attention to the clothing that each guard has on. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say, where you bought that thermal from? He going to say, oh, I got that on Walmart.com. That's the door with the ice cream.
The one that he say he got it from Walmart.com.
I know he got a thermal on, so he cold because this door gonna be cold. Ain't no cold temperature, nothing that's doom and gloom. It's gonna be hot. Think of a bomb going off. It's gonna be hot in that area. Think of a fire.
I mean, that's true, but all right, for heaven's advocate, right?
Okay.
Doom and gloom is stuck on top of Mount Everest as well.
I was gonna say something. We don't go up there.
Now that's funny. That's funny right now. All right, I take that answer. All right, so I have to ask you. I would be remiss. My audience would be pissed if I did not ask you the classic question number 3 of this game. Are you ready? All right, now, y'all, make sure y'all watch because you're going to have to jump in them comments. Who would win in a fight between Iron Man and Batman?
Batman.
What?
Yeah.
Why are you betting so heavily on Bruce?
And I'm not even using the prep time excuse. Tony Stark is arrogant. I mean, he's coming into it thinking he already won and know it all. Mm-hmm. Bruce is resilient.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna use. Like I said, I'm not using prep time because it's the first thing that people go to and they think they won. Mm-hmm. Bruce just bought that life. Bruce already got several gadgets on him that would take Iron Man down off rip without him having to go research. So does Tony, but Tony's gonna come through it from a cocky side of this dude. He on the ground. He gonna talk about his bat suit. He gonna jank him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So his mental is not gonna be in the same place as Batman. That's why Batman will win.
So Bruce takes him out simply because Tony is so arrogant. He's not focused.
Yeah, because then he gonna. First of all, they're both billionaires in their own rights. Tony probably got a little bit more money than Batman do, and he gonna come in there talking. Mm-hmm. He gonna come in there talking. It's just like we saw Draymond and Jaylen Brown. Mm-hmm. Draymond doing all that talking. Yeah, they still won championships and everything, but them couple games, Draymond getting fouled out of every game because he was just doing a bunch of talking and not producing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, y'all getting them comments. If you think he wrong, tell him. Tell him, but you got to explain. You just can't say the man wrong. You got to break your reason why. Why he wrong about this situation? Because, hey, I got to tell you, my last couple guests said Iron Man. They said Tony got Bruce.
I mean, it's the easiest thing to pick, especially when we talking about people who are not comic related, or and the only thing that they can go off of what the last couple of movies they seen. Of course, you pick Iron Man because you're used to him now. The media has made you used to him and everything that he is. Mm-hmm. Reality based, it's gonna be Batman.
Wow. All right, Gotham City. Sound like you got a winner. Mm-hmm. All right, so how we start? It's like how we always start. With the beginning, duh. Mm-hmm. We say in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God.
Yes,
the Word was God.
Yes, sir, Bishop.
So we're going to go to the genesis of Mr. Banks here. Take us to your genesis. Who are you once you began your life here? Who are your parents? How did they shape and mold you? Do you have any siblings? Where was y'all living?
Let's go back. I was born to the late Angela Elizabeth Jones and Malcolm Thaddeus Banks Sr. You know, the two folks grew up out of the bottle. And I grew up in DIP off Clubhouse. I got one sister. She's 13 years older than me.
Okay.
You know, I try to, tell these girls out here I'm very special because my mama tools was tied and I still got here for you.
That's a back line.
Yeah, you can't use that with everybody. I ain't used it in a couple years, so it's old now. I just use it as a joke now.
Yeah.
But yeah, my mama molded and shaped me.
All by herself?
Yeah.
So what was senior?
Over there in the bottom.
And for those who aren't familiar, name streets in the bottom. So
Cedar Avenue. Cedar Avenue, right there by the Dr. Yvonne Kennedy Auditorium. JRT Rec. Right up in that little area.
Right there.
White's Barber College.
There you go. Bishop State. That's the area. That's the bottom.
That's the bottom.
You are familiar if you've been here for Mardi Gras. That's a very popularized spot for Mardi Gras.
Very popularized spot.
Okay, so you grew up in the dip, but you're aware that your pops is in the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see him every once in a while,
Okay.
But he wasn't active.
Okay.
He wasn't an active father.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has that affected you in any way?
Very much so.
What?
Yeah. To the point where I have no choice but to get it. Because I had to learn how to get it.
Okay.
And that's not to say that people didn't help me along the way.
Yeah.
In me getting it. But when you can have a father figure around, you can have an uncle, you can have older homeboy that's in his 30s or 40s to give you game and give you knowledge. But all seeds grow from a root. And there was no root, established root.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I had to replant myself with what I was bringing in, what I was thinking. Were there plenty of failures? Absolutely. But I'm still in that process of matriculating under the soil.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What elementary school you went to?
South Brooklyn Elementary.
Oh, yeah, you was in the dip for real.
Yes, sir.
For real. Most people don't even know South Brooklyn exists.
South Brooklyn Dragons.
Yes.
5th grade, King of Mardi Gras, very first one. You know. Take it back, man. We're going to keep it. We're going to go real. We're going to go out real. I was the first King of Mardi Gras, South Brooklyn.
Hey, at South Brooklyn, I went there 3rd grade. I do not remember her name.
You 3rd grade, you had like Miss McGow. What year you graduated high school?
2009.
Oh, so we graduated the same year. So, hey, we was at South Brooklyn together then.
We probably was.
Yeah.
I was the only person I really remember. I had a best friend named Andrew, who was in class with me. He only became my best friend because him and my favorite uncle had the same name. It was a guy there named Matthew.
Matthew Hunter.
Yeah.
Yep. I saw Matthew the other night.
So what made me mad about Matt was Matt had the Sauconys. And I didn't have Sauconys. And he was it was so fresh he had them.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be his friend because he was wearing the Sauconys.
Yeah.
And that don't used to make me mad. We used to be out there fighting. But the interesting thing about going to South Brooklyn was that was the first time where I used to print out colored Dragon Ball Z pictures and sell them in class. And I would sell the black and whites for 25 cents and the colors for 50 cents. And if it was like a special one, like that picture that got Super Saiyan 2 Go 10 and you know what I'm saying? All of them, that went for $1.
Right.
And they was in class buying them.
Yeah. Oh, you was banking early.
Yeah. I would leave by $4-5 a day.
Yeah, man. South Brooklyn was a special place, man. People don't understand how special a place it was. My sister went to South Brooklyn. So some of the teachers that were there when I got into South Brooklyn were still there. My 1st grade teacher, I still talk to her to this day. Shout out to Veronica Lee. That's my girl right there. And then Jennifer Fields, my 5th grade teacher. I still chit chat with her. Man, a lot of the other Miss Husong, I still talk to Miss Husong.
That's crazy.
So, South Brooklyn, man, that was a place to be.
It definitely was an important part of my life.
It was its own ecosystem.
Yeah.
We had a built jungle gym.
Yes.
Like they hand built that.
Yeah.
I look over there now. You pass by, it's all torn down and everything. Like everything we did in PE was crafted, hand done. Yeah. Like who would have thought to take an old oil barrel, cut out the top of it, cut out a hole in the bottom of it, and implement a board in the middle so for little bitty kids can throw the ball in there and it roll back out. Like they made that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
How you remember that? I don't even remember that.
But I'm locked in. I'm all the way locked in South Brooklyn. Like that was my school, dog.
That's my school. Crazy.
That was my school.
Wow.
I actually went this past spring or so. I actually went in online. I actually got it from Miss Husong. I got the old South Brooklyn Dragon logo and made shirts.
What?
And sold them.
People was buying them?
People was buying them.
Man.
People was buying them.
That's
I'm going to do
crazy.
another run close to Christmas time.
Okay.
But yeah, I got the actual design in my machine now. People was buying the South Brooklyn Dragon t-shirts.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give me one. Have to give me one because I am part of the Alumni Association of South Brooklyn Elementary School.
Love it. Love it.
All right, so you go from being Mr. Mardi Gras King, the first ever Mardi Gras King at South Brooklyn Elementary School, to you go to Dale Williams or you go to
Dale Williams Elementary.
Oh no, that's right. That was the other elementary school. So did you go to Pillins?
For one dreadful year.
Pillins made or break people.
I was broke. Wasn't used to those type of Negro children.
What you say? That is.
I went from Happy Land, South Brooklyn to Doom. That's the guard. That's the guard that was at the door.
Yeah,
that place had no windows.
That's for real. It really didn't.
Penance had no wonders. Then I had to start dressing out for PE, and that was weird. And I was in PACE class with Mr. McCook, you know, because I already knew Mr. McCook from Brooklyn when he was the Entrada teacher. Like, I don't remember that. Entrada was for gifted kids. And then you got in middle school, you went to PACE.
Yeah,
so
I was in PACE.
I was in PACE with Mr. McCook. That's the only thing that kept me sane in that school. Because I knew a couple hours after that, I can get away from these bullies. You know what I'm saying? And going on to PACE, and I'd be in my little safe haven.
So after they run you off from Pillins, where you go?
Good old Dunbar Magnet.
Oh Lord, performing arts.
The performing arts. It's Dunbar Magnet.
So you had to have a talent or at least a skill they could work with to get into that school.
Oh, well, let's get ready to laugh, people. All right, so my uncle, I idolized my uncle to death. My uncle plays drums in my church. My uncle is in his 60s, going on 70, still plays drums at our church. And I just got on the set one day, and I picked it up, and I started playing just by watching him. Now, this is where we go back into that inactive fatherhood. So I'm thinking, well, I always thought, how did I pick up music? It's something I've never done before. Let it get about a year into my freshman year of high school. Oh, yeah, you know, I used to play the trumpet. Okay, you thought you something you should have told me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just thinking maybe it skipped a generation and got around to me, you know, from my uncle or whatnot. So at this point, my uncle moves back to Atlanta. Who's the head drummer at Stewart Memorial CME Church? Me. I'm the head drummer now. I run the show. So I go to Dunbar. I signed up for intermediate band. You know why? Because I can play the drums. I'm an intermediate. I get paid to play at church.
Yeah.
$25 a Sunday.
So you thinking you intermediate?
I'm intermediate. I gotta be.
You are not.
I was not.
Because you know how to play, but you don't know how to read.
The first question, shout out to Ginger Youngblood. The first question Ginger Youngblood asked me, can you read music? No. If my life was a movie and we're at this point, this is when the stamp comes down and says beginner. So I got bumped down to beginner. And now it's time to try mouthpieces out because I believe Ginger Youngblood saw I was not going to be a drummer, you know, and I'm glad she did. So we tried every single mouthpiece. The only mouthpiece that fit my lips was a tuba mouthpiece.
Wow.
And I started playing tuba at 7th grade.
And was it easy to learn?
Very. Picked it up.
That's crazy.
Picked it up like nothing.
Meanwhile, I'm in middle school, and I'm sick of going to PE. So I'm like, I'm going to take band. And I tell them, they say, choose what you want to try. Okay. I'm looking at them drums. They ain't going to be my way.
Sorry, y'all.
Drums ain't going to be my way. So I tried this trumpet.
Okay.
Because I had a best friend in middle school named Carlos. Carlos played saxophone. He didn't play the saxophone. Carlo played the saxophone. You understand what I'm saying? He made that thing sing and twang.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Now, what middle school we at?
Burns. We had Cranford Burns.
So, see Montgomery Burns.
Yes, that's exactly how it felt. So I grabbed me this trumpet.
Right.
And decided I'm going to try and play trumpet.
Right.
Yeah, I was trash. I was horrible. Listen, they just stopped there. Oh, that's how bad I was.
Right.
And yeah, so you picking up a tuba, that's great.
Picked it up, ran that whole 7th grade year. 8th grade, immediately got bumped up to jazz band and advanced band.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the time 8th grade year showed up, I was in drama.
Immediately got bumped up. They was like, yeah, we're going to bump you up to jazz band and advanced band. I was like, great. You know why? Because I get to wear the silver shirt with the black emblem on it. I mean, you're cool.
Yeah.
That's when the girls start looking at you.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that
you're
now.
Jazz band.
That don't even sound cool to people.
They don't.
But in the moment.
Back then at Dunbar,
yeah.
If you was in one of the top performing groups or something in the school, you was somebody.
Okay, then. Yeah. So it was kind of like you was in Ghetto High School Musical.
Basically.
Okay. All right.
Because the band was basically majority black.
Yeah.
Especially the jazz band. It was majority black. I'll never forget, we got put in a retrack for somebody, and they wanted us to play for somebody that was coming to the school, and we all said no. So y'all let us have a retrack.
What?
Yeah. They let us have a retrack.
That's crazy.
We wanted to play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But that was just y'all leverage.
Yeah. We ain't been practicing El Gato Gordo for nothing. I had a solo. And I wanted to go to Gatlinburg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely wanted to go there.
Definitely wanted to go to Gatlinburg because I had a solo then too. The curse of Tutankhamun. I had a tuba solo. Ripped that thing at Smoky Mountain Music Festival.
You still got some footage?
Man, you know we ain't had no cameras all that like that back then.
Somebody got
that was
something.
2003.
Somebody got the pull out with the screen coming in over here.
And a lot of parents didn't
like
go on that trip.
Oh,
yeah.
That means some people was doing something they ain't had no business. We ain't gonna
Probably
get into that. All right, so at this point we're gonna take a little break, and then we're gonna come right back with my boy. Hey. What I need you to do is I need you to go to www.youngandculture.app. I repeat, www.youngandculture.app, and get you one today, man, because if you ain't got it, you left out. And one thing you don't want to be is left out. Just trust me, everybody's about to have this. So you go on the Gatlinburg trip. You hit your solos.
Hit them solos.
All right. So now
got a certificate too. I was too hyped.
You getting ready to go into high school,
and my mailbox is full of letters like Harry Potter was when he trying to hide that one letter. They kept sending a bunch of letters.
Really?
Yeah.
Why they want you to come?
It was full of letters from BC Rain.
Oh, they want you to be in the band.
Yeah. It wasn't happening.
Why? Why don't nobody want to be a Red Raider today?
I saw my musical prowess. And I saw BC Rain and Mardi Gras.
Oh, they wasn't on it.
I was here. They were here.
So if you had a choice of that caliber of school, who was you going to go to?
Without knowing anything?
Yeah.
I would have went to LaFleur and got in the Flores band. Because that was the band to see back then. Even when my sister was at LaFleur.
I mean, I'm a little contrary to that, but okay, I'll let you have it.
Who you got?
It was one or two things. Either you was a leopard or a wolf.
But Blunt wasn't humping like that. Blunt wasn't humping on LaFleur, and LaFleur was marching 220 now. They would.
What is 2005?
Blunt is the best band in Mobile now, and has been for the last 10 years. That's
because Mr. Star worked there.
Anytime I came home from Mardi Gras, I saw that Blunt was the best band in the city.
Yeah.
But them years right there.
Yeah. I remember.
3, 4, 5.
I remember.
Blunt
and the reason why I remember is because Blunt and LaFleur is considered a rival game.
Correct.
And even though they're not even rivals for real, but it is a rival game. And more than the football game, you going to see the halftime.
Absolutely.
Them bands is finna go at it.
At it.
So, okay. And I do remember while I was at Blunt, which is 2005 through 2009, that's when we did raise to that prominence that you're talking about. And I remember, matter of fact, I remember the game when we finally beat them.
Yeah. Because 2010, the floor was horrible.
Yeah.
They had like 20 members.
That's crazy.
It's bad.
But that's because everybody had got them scholarships and they had went off, man.
Exactly. 2009 was a big year.
Yeah.
For band scholarships.
Yes.
To go off to school.
It was a big year for a lot of different kind of things going on, man. I think our class was the most eclectic class that I've seen in a very long time because, like I was explaining to my wife, because she went to one or two schools down here, but she didn't graduate down here. You know, so the bulk of her high school experience wasn't here. You know, but I was explaining to her, I said, at my school, the popular kids like the best player on the basketball team, best player on the football team, the best looking cheerleader, and the best person in the band. Like all of those people, all of us took honor classes, dual enrollment classes, AP classes. Like they were star athletes and star students.
Star students, yeah.
And prior to that, I had never seen that anywhere. And was it like that for you where you was at?
At Murphy, it was a mix.
Okay.
It was a mix. You had a lot of people who, you know, Murphy was big on those AP classes, you know, all that. By that point, I had kind of slid back on education. I wasn't saying I wasn't smart, but it was music. Music was literally at the forefront.
You wasn't feeling what they was doing with school.
Right. I did what I was supposed to do in school so I could live.
Understood.
You know.
I understood. I was devastated because of how Blunt was set up. I was devastated whenever I had to take dual enrollment English rather than AP English.
Right.
What's crazy is we still was in the same class.
The same, exactly.
It was the same teacher. Only difference is like I'm taking the same work they taking. Mine just don't count the same.
Exactly. And that was what was the purpose of me doing that. I just go to regular English.
And the crazy thing is all 4 years that I was there, 2 of those years, my English teacher actually, when she left Blunt, she went and worked at South. She was a college professor in English.
Right.
So the way that we was working as high school students was already
college material.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. And meanwhile, you over there just doing what it takes to blow your horn.
I'm in music. Music.
You ain't thinking nothing about that.
Music. I had a Spanish class. I passed with a D.
Well, I can't say nothing. I passed French 1 and 2 with a D. And I was one of her favorite students. It's just the listening part.
Me and Senora Summy didn't get along.
Oh.
I used to write notes and be like, I was supposed to be playing with jazz band today. I used to shout out to Darren Smith. I used to do his name because I knew his signature. Because, you know, you'd be hearing jazz band in the fall, but then you might not have been in there in the spring. But in the springtime, that's when they go off campus a lot. All the different functions and business meetings and this. And they go to this function, go to that function. So that time, now you in the car with somebody. Now we're going to all stop and get something to eat on the way back, or we're going to lollygag.
Yeah.
So I won't go.
You want to go on jazz band?
Yeah, we're going jazz band.
Okay. All right, so
shout out to Dora Explorer, help me pass Spanish with that D.
So you actually end up graduating from Murphy.
Right.
You make your mama proud enough.
Yeah. Well, at the beginning of my senior year, that's when she checked up out of here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So did that affect you?
Yes and no.
Why the yes and no?
Yes, because it's my mama. She dipped up out of here.
Of course.
No, because I knew I ain't had no choice but to graduate school, and I ended up picking up a job. And I also got dropped band.
So you stopped being in the band?
Stopped being in the band.
And it was because of her passing?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, Stan Chapman, wonderful band director, horrible human being. I just go ahead and call it like it is. I've been in that band 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and missed not one performance, not one. My mom was a band booster. I've been to everything that the band required and didn't require. I didn't go to 3 games because I rather chose to sit at the hospital with her. And that man docked my grade for 3 games.
Stop playing. Because your mama sick.
I missed a performance.
And you got
I'll
penalized?
never forget. I had brought her my report card. It's the beginning of my senior year, so my grades have to be on point.
Yeah.
I walked in the hospital. I said, hey, I got my report card today. And we used to call her the Godfather because chemo and everything affected her voice. But she talked real low like this. You know what I'm saying?
So y'all was still drinking?
Oh,
boy, that's Mobile.
Every day,
that's
boy.
Mobile for you, boy. You don't even let your mama.
But that lady used to be trying to get up and do stuff around the house. That was the only time I was ever able to talk back to my mom. Okay. She used to come home. She trying to cook. I said, bro, what you doing? Walk around. You talk to her, what you doing walking around? I just look at her like that. She was looking at me. Go turn
And
around,
go
go
sit
back,
down.
go turn around, sit back down. So I brought the report card in. I say, yeah, I got my report card today. She said, let me see it. So I got an E. That bed said, dun, 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 dun. I gave her the report card. She looked at it. She said, "I get out this hospital, I'm gonna go up there and beat his ass." She said it just like that. Yeah, that man flunked me for the performances. I dropped band right then.
That's crazy.
Dropped band right there. So now, me not being in band, still needing band to keep my skills straight from now, which was November, going into the spring and the summer to get ready to audition for college. What was I going to do? So I picked up a job at Waffle House probably about a week or two after not Waffle House, Food World on DIP. Now I've been going to this Food World all my life, even back when it was Dale Shams. Yeah. So I know everybody there. I know everybody in the meat market, the deli, the cashiers, everybody.
Now it's food for no, it's Piggly Wiggly now.
Nah,
right?
it's something. It's dusty.
Food Champ.
Something. It's dusty and ugly. They let it fall. It's like B&H. B&H look better than it.
It showed, but they sell that Old Dutch ice cream in there, and it's fresh made in there.
That's true. That's true. But so I wanted to apply for a job. Got a job. This guy walks in. He has on purple gold shirt, and he has a tuba, sousaphone around his neck. And I asked, I said, "Hey, you play for one of the Mardi Gras bands?" His name was Marcus Johnson. He was like, "Yeah, I own Bay City Brass." I was like, Okay. I said, "Y'all looking for 2 players?" We always look for 2 players. So I started with Bay City Brass that year. I've been playing Bay City since then. That was the first 2008.
So you've been playing for Bay City Brass since 2008.
2008.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's how you kept your skills sharp.
That's how I kept my skills sharp. So I immediately went in practicing with them at the end of 8, and then playing with them all Mardi Gras season. And then after Mardi Gras season was over with, he let me take the tuba home. Because at this point, I only got 2 classes.
Okay.
You know, English and a computer class. So I'm back at home at 10:30.
Yeah.
So I had a horn to practice on, all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Mom's passed. You find the strength to continue on. So you going to college?
Going to college.
Where you end up at? Who?
You know, I went on, took that ride up 65, South Jackson Street, to the Alabama State University.
Of course. Them Hornets.
Yes, sir. It was in my everything to become a Mighty Marching Hornet.
The funny thing is, you left the hood and went straight to the hood.
I don't know now. I didn't live in the hood of DIP.
Oh, you ain't stay in the ghetto part.
No, I stayed in the nice part.
Okay.
I was off Clubhouse Road.
So you was on the other end of Clubhouse.
I was at the beginning of Clubhouse.
Oh.
Where I could walk to McDonald's.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cause see, I used to, when I first stayed in DIP, I stayed off Gill Road.
Gill, yeah, ghetto back there.
Yeah, Gill is right there, right before you get to Clubhouse. Like soon as you turn in.
Yeah, at the 4-way stop.
Yep, that's Gill Road, and then when we moved
Gill is
back,
white and ghetto black. Both of them.
and then when we moved back, we moved with my aunt, who has lived there forever, off Anson Court.
Oh, that's way back up in there.
Yeah, it's a little ways. It's
Now,
a little ways.
Tramiel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's back that way.
Yeah.
And that's where I spent the more formidable years from 9 on up.
Ghetto DIP is on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, that's right.
It's nice. It's nice on BC Rain side.
You talking about on the side by the grocery store?
Yeah, on the side where Maryvale and all
Yep.
that.
That's why all the hood. I mean, all the hood apartments and all that back up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a little mini suburb on the other side.
You just stayed in the wetlands. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
It'll flood out in a second. Just give it a second.
Quick.
So you went from the wetlands to the hood.
Yeah.
And did you know you was going to the hood? Because they didn't tell us about Alabama State.
I knew
in that
Bama
way.
State was the hood because my sister went to Bama State.
Oh, okay.
I knew it was in the middle of the project.
Okay. So
It was the project.
you get there, are you surviving or thriving?
Neither.
What's in the middle? Existing?
Banned.
So that's literally why you there. You Devin off drumline.
Put it like this. When you're living in a sense where you have consistent direction that's led by positive reinforcement and physical reinforcement of a parent,
It doesn't leave any room.
and then you remove that, and now it's just you, and you already have an absentee other parental unit, and now you have a. My sister would have been in her 30s at that time. She has to live her life. That's not to say, because you know how folks get when they watch stuff like this. Oh, I was there for him. I drove him up there. I know you did. I know you did. But you have to, again, it goes back to what I was talking about the rooting system. My root is my immediate family. Yes, there are outside people who assisted and helped and made ways for me to make sure I had everything. But at the end of the day, you go back to your roots, and the roots lacked in a sense. So I basically went up there, did band, and had no push or drive for school.
So what happens as a result?
I just did the whole first semester of band. At one point, I stopped going to class. I did towards the end of the year.
Were you down on scholarship?
Yeah, I had a small scholarship.
That's crazy. So you just whole first semester didn't go nothing but band. They let you come back to band the second semester? Did you get to come to school at all?
I chose not to come back.
So you only did one semester of school? So what happened after that?
I came back to Mobile.
Oh, the worst thing you could ever do.
Yeah.
If you not going to school, your best bet is to just stay where you at.
Yeah. See, I felt shame. And yes, I could have went back because it was like I got kicked out. I didn't have a drive. I didn't have a drive. I wish, I don't regret anything that I did because going and marching that band built up the strength that I feed on now still to this day. You know, because I was a nerd kid. I was what they call a lame. So going through that band and getting roughed up and first day cussing you out, you know what I'm saying? It taught me a lot. It taught me a lot of manly skills.
Okay.
Like tough. It toughened me.
It made you get tough.
Yeah.
I understand.
To the point where I appreciated it. For
So
what
the
it
band
was.
became your daddy. It's crazy.
Because everybody is on one mission there to make you better.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to be better, you can get out of the band.
Yeah.
They tell you that first day. 4:00 a.m. in the front of the Acadome parking lot. My face is in gravel. And it's hot already. August 2nd, 2009. It's already hot at 4 a.m. And we're standing in front of the Acadome, and we see 5 figures, in combat boots and fatigues and maces with drum major maces and white T-shirts and sunglasses on at 4 a.m. And they march up the hill. You've been to Bama State before. So they're coming up the hill at the towers and in front of the Fred Shuttleworth dining facility, and they stop. And they just stand there for about a good 2 or 3 minutes. Like Michael Jackson concert. When
he was popping up the Pepsi, the halftime show.
No, when he turned his head and everybody cheer. Turned their head. Now, they weren't doing all that.
Yeah.
It was just awkward
Just
silence.
that waiting.
And then it's like all hell broke loose. Everybody get on. Boo, 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 beep, boo, beep, 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 beep. Ground. And I'm just laying on the ground like this. I'm in danger. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what did I get into? Literally, after that first day was over with, at about 1 a.m., I called my sister crying. And she said, what's wrong? And the first words I said out of my mouth was, I don't know what I'm doing. I should have went to the floor.
Because Murphy did not prepare you for that.
Murphy made me a musician. So much to the point where Jerome Campbell was on staff at State at the time, who graduated from Murphy. I don't know if you know Jerome, but graduated from Murphy, was on staff arranging music for Murphy. And when they got time calling out scales and stuff like that, he would call on me. You know why? Because he knew I knew him.
Yeah.
Because of the product I came from.
Wow.
So, yeah. It's rough.
So, first semester don't go well. You don't go back. You come home. What happens after that?
I come home and do absolutely nothing.
How long you don't do nothing?
Till about October.
And then what happened?
Met my ex-wife.
And then here goes this journey.
Yeah. I met my ex-wife and I realized, wait a minute. This is not me. Why have I picked up smoking weed?
But how long? How long were you together before you had that realization?
Oh, no, bro. It was a realization from the get-go. Because I liked her. I lied to her. I told her I had a job and I was going to school and everything.
So you basically built your relationship on a lie.
I did. And then I confessed. She still hung around. Because she said she saw potential in me. As she said. I got to excuse my Unc foot, we get sleep. But yeah, I woke up then. Because I saw somebody I liked and I wanted to be with. And nothing that I was doing was going to equate to it. So
Being
I just
able
straight
to be
up
with
confessed.
them. Okay.
I was just like, look, this is what I'm not doing nothing. And it's not, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. You probably would never thought that if I never told you just now.
No.
It wasn't me. But I realized also that I hadn't grieved.
Because it don't sound like it.
Because at that point I knew after she left out of here, I knew I had no choice but to keep on moving. I couldn't stop.
But you needed a moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you meet who is now your ex.
Yeah.
And that's who motivates you to get yourself together.
Not even, it was some words she said, but it was the art and the idea of, I like this person and nothing that I am now will this person accept. So I need to do something. Yeah.
So at what point does the boat that's dragging you out of the gunk become the weight that's attached to your ankle?
I don't know. I feel like it was all together. I feel like I was in a sinking boat with an anchor attached to it.
The whole ride?
You talking about with the relationship?
Yeah, the relationship.
Oh, but that's a whole different podcast.
Okay. All right. So before we get into that, we're going to take a slight break and come back to it. What it do, family? This your boy Sid, a.k.a. King Dope, the king of all things dope. Hey, I just kind of let you know I just dropped another gem for you. Hey, what I need you to do is pick up your device, go to the nearest streaming app you have, wherever you listen to music. I'm letting you know I dropped an album to go along with the podcast. Yes. And to make it easy, I named it the same thing, A Vivid Mind. So, on wherever you like to find your music, look up A Vivid Mind, and it's by the artist known as King Dope, that it will be me. You can look up King Dope, KINGDOPE, or you can look up A Vivid Mind, and you will find my album. Check it out. Man, I got some tunes on there for every type of situation. And every type of situation I got some tunes for involve getting to the bag. So, Make sure you hit the comments on this video if you have checked it out and let the people know what you think. So you meet the one, so you think. And that's why you start getting yourself of caliber to have her.
And for myself, too.
Okay.
That's how I really was. I wasn't doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was playing drums for church. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
like, I would literally play drums. Like, I started smoking weed, like, August of 10. And I stopped December of 10. And I ain't picked it back up since.
That's how you really knew you and yourself. But you was doing it because you was feeling pain? You was...
It was a friend of mine brought it over. He said, come on, just try it. Because I was already smoking Black and Miles. I picked that up from the baby.
Everybody who graduated in 2008 through 2012, by the time you went off to college, you was smoking blacks.
Wine wood tip.
Yes. Yeah. My wife still be blown when I tell her I used to smoke blacks.
And you know what? Every once in a while, when I feel like if we about to have a ratchet good time,
Yeah.
I stop at the store and get a black.
That's crazy.
It's only during Mardi Gras.
Yeah, okay.
Like, you know what? Today is about to be one of them days.
Man, and that's how he used to, we used to call it freaking them.
Yes, sir.
You got to freak the black.
Yes, sir. You got to take that tip out.
Yeah.
People used to like when I used to supply, I say, yeah, because you know in the factory, they coming out the thing just shoving it up in there. And then you light it, you ain't going to be able to pull it through. You going to pull it through. See, you pull it a little, folks like, oh, man, you for real? I was like, yeah, that's how it works.
Yep.
That's it. I had learned that. But yeah, wine wood tip, baby. You was in the band, you was on that wine wood tip. All us was.
That's so crazy.
And we was putting in on the box of them.
Yeah, and them must smoke
And
6
splitting them
cigarettes apiece. And meanwhile, we looking at people who smoke cigarettes like they crazy.
Yeah, bro.
And we the crazy ones.
y'all don't know what y'all on that Newport, but them thing ain't gonna miss y'all. Look.
Meanwhile, the Newport smoker laugh.
Nah, bro. We was on them wine wood tips hard.
That's
in
so
the band,
crazy,
like
bro.
hard after practice.
And I don't. And the crazy thing now, I have bronchitis flares and all kinds of stuff, bro. Like I shouldn't have been messing with that
Highly
stuff.
divulged. But it was another thing. You know, we picked that up. We're on the wine wood tips. We doing the band thing, and pick up the whole weed thing. And I'm literally, it's gonna sound so bad. I'm literally getting out of church on Sunday to get my payment for playing drums and riding around the corner.
Because
I ain't had no car.
yeah.
You know, I didn't get my first car until 2019.
Stop playing, bro. So all this time,
No family setting. You know how most people in the family, oh, we're gonna go and get you a car.
yeah.
I don't have that family unit that's doing that.
So you've only had a car for about 3 years.
That's in my name.
That's yours.
Right.
That's crazy. Most people get their first car about somewhere between 18 and 20.
Who getting it for me?
I mean, even if you get it yourself. But like you said, you ain't got nobody even tell you to do what you supposed to be working towards.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you meet old girl, y'all staying in Mobile? Y'all...
She was living in Montgomery.
Okay. So
We met on Facebook.
okay. So
And-
what you do? How that work?
So we met on Facebook, and she was from Mobile. She was in going towards her last years of elementary education. So she sent me a friend request and a message, and she was like, well, you know, what's up, Port City, March Hornet? And then we just started
Going back
chit-chat
and
back
forth,
and forth. And there was no weird space in the beginning. We both from Mobile. We both marched in the Battle of Alabama State. There's buckets of stuff to talk about.
Of course.
From Hearts to your favorite Majesty Classic to Godfathers to what stories you know from the band. You know what I'm saying? Laundry list.
Okay.
So she had to do what was called observation hours for a PE class. So what she would do was come to Mobile and go to her old elementary school. And at the time, her niece was still going to elementary school. So little did I know, they had already signed her paper to cover her for the whole semester because the PE teacher that was there was the PE teacher that was there when she was there. And that's what we don't have in school. I'm sorry, I know this is an offset.
No, it's
but
okay.
This is what we don't have in schools anymore. They swap out teachers so much to where the school loses that family setting. You see how I said there are people
still talk
from
to the
South
people.
Brooklyn
Yeah.
that I still know, to the point where when they built Gilliard and closed Brooklyn and Adelia Williams, I could walk in Gilliard like a celebrity almost because I stayed around.
Yeah.
I still went and helped teachers that, whether I had to or not, during the summertime, I was asking my mom, "You drop me off at the school? I'm gonna go help Miss such such take their room down." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go help Miss Houston clean up the gym and the PE stuff like that. You know, so all of that, we were still connected.
Okay.
So same thing with her.
Okay.
They had signed her paper. I couldn't find out what she said. She was coming out to see me.
Wow.
You know, so we moved to that level, and we just talking, and she's the one that actually led me back to Christ. At that point, everything's dark for me. Everything's dark.
Wow.
And I knew, and I told her, I said, I can't stay here no more. I got to get out of here. January 1st, I moved back to Montgomery.
Okay.
With her.
Okay.
Literally, January 1st. I was out of here.
So you moved in with her?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And a couple months later, I moved out.
Literally a couple months.
A couple months later. We were going to church. I had joined a church she was going to, non-denominational. And you know how some folks in church get, they was on her, you know, like, and she was trying to, during them times, she was really trying to do what was right and kind of stay grounded and rooted. And of course, we're not married.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to Job Corps.
What? What job did you pick up at Job Corps?
I did the office administration course.
Okay.
Because at age 6, I was at Carver campus in Thomasville in class with my mama when she was going for office administration. So I've been doing PowerPoint since I was 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah.
I've been on Microsoft Word back when the big paperclip used to be in the corner.
I remember.
You know, so those are skills that I still make money off of to this day.
That's crazy.
Somebody need a document typed up or created or formatted, $65.
You the man. That's dope.
I turned it into a whole business.
Yeah.
I got a business license for it.
You actually have, what's the name of that business?
Banks Media Connections.
Oh. Which proves you can make money off any skill you have.
Yeah.
This man got a whole business off doing office administration
I was
work.
making money back then doing PowerPoints because the ladies in her class, of course, they were, you know, they had to take a computer class. So homework for them or big test for them might have been a 5-slide presentation. They would give my mama money, and my mama would turn around and give me money to do these folks' work. I was like 8, 9, 10 then.
Yeah.
So that's how I've been around computers. I've gotten IT jobs with no degree in IT just because I know a lot.
Now the crazy
I
thing
don't know
is,
everything.
I have the skill set, like small time computer repair. You having issues with software,
Right.
I could clean the computer like that,
Right.
But I don't have the paperwork, so it was hard for me to find an IT job.
Right. It's all about the entry level stuff.
Yeah,
It worked out for me.
that's great.
I've
though.
had several help desk jobs.
But I mean, you needed breaks though,
Yeah.
right? Because of the things you had endured. Like you needed a break when you got one.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah. So I went to Job Corps, picked up office administration, and I moved to Gadsden, Alabama. That's where the center was.
I was going to say the only thing I know this from there is Yellow Wolf.
And I ain't know that. But I was living in Gadsden, Alabama. Beautiful place. I wish I would have got a chance to see more of it, but you literally lived on campus with a gate.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I lost a lot of weight because there was nothing to do. And the good thing was the cafeteria had pink lemonade in the fountain. That was perfect. I'm a big pink lemonade drinker. But I lost a lot of weight playing basketball in the gym by myself. And then I started playing with other people, just slowly started because I really kept to myself. And then I had a revelation one day that regardless of whatever I came in here for or with, I'm just like everybody in here. Because Job Corps, normally, you got quarter pointed to be here. I'm homeless. I ain't got nowhere else to go. If I don't go here and do something with my life, they're going to lock me up. And me, I'm big head, like, I just needed, to get my life back on track. So I had to get out of that above mind thinking and
realize you basically in the same boat they in. You just ain't got caught in no trouble yet.
Or at all. I had never been a shoplifter like once.
Yeah.
Got caught one. But yeah, if you're of our age, you remember the good old Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh card days.
Oh yeah. Oh, and it was popping.
Yeah. CVS was my friend. Holographics on deck. But yeah, once I realized that, I was like, okay, well, I'm here for a reason. And it was literally doom and gloom there because most people, it's so sad. Most people were literally there because they didn't have anywhere else to go if they completed the program and went home.
What?
Because if you came here homeless, what are you going back to if you complete the program on time? Yeah. So most people was taking their time through it. Most people taking their time through it because the situation that they left at home was bad. Yeah. I know people that's got kids and married now that was at Job Corps together, like whole families.
That's crazy.
And they even have programs to where you finish that program, you could now go to the advanced portion of the program in another whole state. And some people worked that system and made their way on up in life. But I knew that wasn't me. Yeah. So they told me 8 months. It's going to take me 8 months to a year to finish the office administration program. And I'm literally looking at the big binder books that my mama used to work out of. And it's basically like you're doing all the lessons in these books. Yeah. So I got there in end of March. You went through 4 weeks of learning Job Corps, the ways and means and everything. And then you started your program. I was done in July.
Wow.
And there were people that were in the office administration class that had been there a year prior. And I just came in and just...
zip right past them.
Because of all the stuff I do.
Yeah.
I know how to file. I know how to type. I know how to do Microsoft Word. I know how to do PowerPoints.
A lot of you was just really... I can skip that. I know how to do that. I know how to do that. Yeah. So you just getting it done. Poop, poop, poop,
Except
poop,
for Excel. We're still mortal enemies.
Me and Excel are not that cool.
I don't even use it. I don't see a reason to use it.
I mean, whenever you're supposed to be doing, let's say you want to do your own personal budget, Excel is a perfect catalyst for that if you want to keep up with stock and inventory.
What's that word you use? Huh? What's that word you just used? It's a perfect what?
I don't even remember just that fast.
Sounds like you said calculator. But you really said catalyst.
Catalyst. That is exactly what I said.
A calculator's my friend. Add it up, write it down.
Yeah. That's true. Excel. That's true. But it's it's supposed to be plug and play whenever you do it just right. But honestly, it still didn't work out for me.
I don't even put it on my resume anymore.
I'm familiar enough with it to work though, if I want to work. And I can use it, but
the Excel portion of the whole program was real short, and I just made it through.
Okay,
but at the end of Job Corps, they give you $1,200 for completing the whole thing. Yeah, they give you money. So, like, you can actually get a job at Job Corps. Like I was used to wash dishes for $25 a week.
Okay,
so it afforded some good opportunities, some good relationships over the years.
So you graduate Job Corps, you get your $1,200. What you do next? Is this when the Fandoms Anonymous come in?
No. I moved back to Montgomery and I enrolled back in Alabama State.
Interesting. This just took a weird turn.
And moved on campus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Do you graduate this time?
No. I just told you I had no degree.
I just said.
No.
Oh, man.
Because what I allowed was for life to be my forefront rather than school. And life was relationship. So I get back to Montgomery, August of 2011. I moved back in first part of that next year of 2012. And then we break up March, Mayish. And then we get married July 2012.
What? Y'all ain't even deciding on what y'all gonna do when you gonna get married.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so how long does this marriage last?
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
And during what year do you decide to start the podcast?
2015. And it's not even Fandoms Anonymous at this time.
What is it called?
It's Complete Nerd Authority.
Complete Nerd Authority.
Yeah. If we're going back to the roots.
Yeah.
So Complete Nerd Authority came together from her crab sister. For those of you who don't know what a crab is a currently recruited active bandsman. It's what you are when you come into a band program and you're not of the program. You're trying to be of the program.
You a newbie.
You're a crab.
Fresh.
Yeah. You literally come in and write your last name on the back of the shirt. Got a big old F on the front of your shirt. Last name up here and a question mark on the back because you don't know who you are. Mm-hmm. My crab name just happened to be Uncle Phil. And whenever I got asked to sing the skit, I had to sing the entire Fresh Prince song.
For real? So to this day, you know it by heart.
No matter where we were.
Sing it right now.
I'm not. No matter where we could be at the game, at practice, in the cafeteria, and I'm sitting next to a nice young lady, and the upperclassman come. Oh, Banks, you here eating with your little friend, huh? Same. Yeah, it was like that. They don't do that no more. Shout out to FAMU, it's y'all fault. But
that's crazy. So you get Complete Nerd Authority from her crab sister.
From her crab sister's husband. Me and him got cool. We realized we talked about the same things. We watched the same movies, all that stuff. And we come up with Complete Nerd Authority. We build this conglomerate of different people who all had a portion to play in the podcast. It was a video podcast and Facebook page and all that. So everybody had a specific role. Me and him were considered co-founders. I started getting us signed up to go to conventions.
Okay.
So my very first ever convention that I see anything about on Facebook pops up, and it's in Pensacola, Florida, called Pensacon. And I'm like, the Power Rangers are going to be there. We got to go. So I signed us up. Robert, tell you, I'm very frugal. If there's something we can do for free, we're going to do it. Okay? I found out that 3-day passes were given to volunteers. So all we need to do was have somewhere to sleep and something to drive. And that's how we got on in. That next year, after being established, we said, okay, now let's start going in as the organization. Media passes. I got to sign up I have a mouthpiece on me. I got to sign up. Nothing slick, just like, hey, we want to come in and do this, whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah. And we started getting media passes. So now we're becoming known in the Southeast. All the way up to Huntsville, all the way back down to Mobile, Pensacola, and lower parts of Mississippi. And it's booming. We going to all the conventions. We meeting the celebrities. We having a good old time. We podcasting. We Facebook and people sharing us. We doing it. We doing it. And then that's when it hit the fan. So the guy I co-founded it with, he liked to do things a certain way. We had 8 people, which we would vote on things. Okay. And then he would go and do the thing that he wanted to do in the beginning. Okay. And as people started dropping off, people started saying, forget it. there's no point in me doing this anymore. There's just a few of us left. And then my boy Kevin Galter, he just said, F it, and he dipped. And I'm just like, okay, all right. Because they want to do stuff like Complete Nerd Authority After Dark, you know, and start talking about weird things with superheroes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's weird.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, as they say, boys would be boys. I didn't want to be one of those boys.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where we did the convention here in Mobile called MobiCon.
Yep. I remember.
We did MobiCon. And we did a lot of interviews, a lot of footage. The guy, he had all the footage. I was asking him for the longest to get the footage so I could edit and put the footage up. Now, when you're working in a partnership, the communication is the key. So if you had a problem with how I was editing footage, you should say something.
Yes.
So he held on to said footage. And then it finally came out that that's why he was holding on to said footage.
Because he didn't like the job he was doing.
Correct. But I was the one that was doing all of the editing, period, anyway, from the beginning.
Yeah.
Any piece of video content that came out, I did. If you go back to that channel right now, the videos with the most views are the videos that I edited and produced.
Wow. So, how do y'all end up getting into it?
I ended up saying, you can have it. And I dipped.
After how long did y'all do that together?
It wasn't even 2 years.
Wow.
This crunked up off in 15.
So by the time 16 is
So
ending,
this is August 16, and I'm like, you can have it.
So do you stop podcasting or do you?
I stopped doing everything.
How long before you start your next?
It was a period of time between August and December of 16 where people were saying, man, I still want to know what you thought about the movie. I like how you be breaking it down. The Flash is coming out. Arrow and all that stuff is starting to build up. Man, I want to know what you thought about that. And I was just posting on Facebook. And if everybody pays attention to our hashtags, we have a hashtag that says hashtag Norwood Forever. And that's one of our people that passed a couple years ago. And he was like, man, if you start something on your own, man, I'm going to be there. I'm whatever you need, I'm going to help.
Okay.
And that's when the rumblings got to coming about. And then December 26, 2016, that's when the name Fandoms Anonymous was born.
What does that mean?
You want to know the truth?
That's why we're here.
All right. So, of course, we know the word fandom. Fandom, singular, is the thing that you are mostly a fan of.
Okay.
But when you have a collective of things that other people are fans of, at that point we pluralize it. That's not even a word. And then it's fandoms. The word anonymous, it just sounded cool.
Yeah. So I'm a fan of a lot of stuff, and nobody knows who it is.
I wasn't thinking on that level.
Yeah, you just put two words together.
And it sounded good.
You was rapping. Fandoms Anonymous.
It just sounded good. And my boy came to me, he's like, man, what I thought you was trying to say was, like, people go to the AA meeting and be like, my name is such and I'm a fan of this.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, no, I care, but we can go with that.
That's a good excuse.
We can go with that.
Okay.
But that's literally, it just sounded good to me. It sounded like it made sense.
Well, now you make it make sense.
Yeah.
Because you out here in these streets.
Big time.
And like you told me once before, the pivotal moment for you was you're not even living here. And the mayor accepts your request in order to do your interview.
Yeah.
And you're still friends with him to the day, right?
To this day. I had little inklets in Mobile, like little ink drops of Fandoms Anonymous, but it wasn't full-fledged. Because I was trying to do stuff in Montgomery, but Montgomery is such a cliquish society that I just started dropping little droplets here. I would come home every once in a while and do something. Not to the level I'm doing right now, but just, do this here, do this there, do this, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
But nothing full force. And I knew that everybody that I worked with on the podcast and what we did lived here.
Okay.
Everybody. I was the only one that lived out of town.
Wow. All right, so we're going to take a slight break. What I need you to do is I need you to go to www.youngandculture.app. I repeat, www.youngandculture.app. And get you one today, man, because if you ain't got it, you left out. And one thing you don't want to be is left out. Just trust me, everybody's about to have this. All right, so you come back home, you got some clout in the city.
Right.
Everybody know what you got. Everybody know you at this point. Like if you don't know Fandoms Anonymous, you just ain't been downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Just that's basically it. Honestly, you ain't been downtown because even the little old ladies who keep crossing over the camera.
I know she live at too.
Know
she
that you are.
She live on my daddy's street.
She live on Cedar Avenue.
She live on Cedar Avenue. I seen her come to my house one day.
And the lady touching the camera stand.
I don't know where she live at. If you ever see a lady in Lincoln with 5 grandchildren, that's her.
So they know about you. So what's popping with Fandoms Anonymous now? Because now you got my bro on it. You know, y'all are co-superheroes now. You and Mr. Hooten. What's next for y'all? Like, because I'm seeing y'all at concerts. Y'all was at the No Limit concert. You was at the Gucci show. You
was at the Money Bag show.
You was at the Money Bag show.
Yeah. Gucci was on there for a small period of time.
Okay, well, it was Money Bag show then. You just did the Blues on the River show.
Jeff Floyd. Shout out to my boy.
So, and you be at the kickball game. You be at Lit Cigar Lounge
on Sundays.
Rob be at Vibes. Like, I'm watching. I'm seeing. I see what's up. Yeah. You be at anything that has to do with motivating the community, uplifting the community. You're there. You're speaking to. You're mentoring kids. You're giving away. You're highlighting. You're a staple in our community. You're somebody making a difference. What is the play here? Like, you go from talking to the mayor to doing whatever calls your name?
Yeah. It's looking at a door that I open and seeing in that same room there's another door, and then you walk in that room, there's 4 more doors, and they're all open for you to walk in. So I'm going to each one of them to see what I can get out and what I can put back in.
Interesting.
Some stuff is paid. Some stuff is just because somebody reached out to me and they came at me professionally and it made sense. So we're going to do it.
Wow.
My drive comes from the ex-wife telling me I would never do anything with videos. And a lot of times, if you go through my channel, you'll see several videos on YouTube where I said I'm shutting down the podcast because I would get told that I was putting too much into it and that I wasn't going to make no money off of it, no way. Or I wasn't making any money off of it. So why am I even doing it? Why am I even wasting that time? But when I first moved, before I even moved back to Mobile officially, I was working on a $1,000 commercial for the Wave transit system. I was still living in Montgomery, and I was driving home. I was still living in Montgomery. And before I packed up all my stuff and moved, I was staying with my cousin for a whole month, the whole month of March. And then I was working on a commercial for the Wave. So that was my first big project when I got back home. But I do what I do, and I do what we do because it's needed, and nobody else is doing it. And before I moved home, I saw that nobody else was doing it. So I knew it would be nothing for me to come in with the connections that I have and the people that I know to come home and take over. And not on a sense of, I want to take over your city and your world. I will be the, none of that. It's because nobody was doing anything.
It was an open lane.
It's an open lane.
You were going to stand out.
A lot of people were just talking.
Yeah. And that's what I've found out. since I've entered into the lane. Because like I said at the beginning of this interview, it was the interview that y'all did with me and just the stuff you was telling me. You basically put the battery in my back and was just like, what are you waiting for? For somebody to do it, to ask you what you're waiting for, it's a big deal.
Yeah. Just do it.
And that's for anybody.
Anybody. Anything you're doing, just do it.
Don't wait. You don't need no help.
But if you're not ready, don't do it. If you're still thinking about why you're not doing it, don't do it. Because you're going to start doing it and you're going to crash.
Well, this is basically why we do this. For him to tell you what you need to know. And what you need to know in this moment is, no matter what adversity you face, withstand. Just withstand the storm. We ain't asking you to fight the storm or nothing. Just withstand the storm. And when you see an open door, walk through it. Something is for you on that other side. And sometimes it's 4 more doors. Hey, this has been a magnificent interview. If you want the get the bag, we do get the bag for each interview. If you want to get the bag, make sure you're subscribing on one of these wonderful platforms I got. All right? Go to Patreon, go to Fanbase, and in a minute, they're going to allow for me to get subscribers on Instagram and Facebook. Make sure you on one of those things. You help me take care of my family. And you're going to get the bag from Mr. Banks right here, the one who made it out of nothing. So, until I see you then, live humble and prosper.
I've been through a lot. And only one thing ever really sticks to me. No matter what I go through, it always affects me. When I hustle up or don't have a dime, I'ma go mine. Good times and the bad times, they heavy on my mind. Tapered up, arms starch down. Either way is mine. I feel fine, but everything around affect my vivid mind.